Start sharing again. There. Okay, so let's start with our scale. And since you guys can see my tuner, it's just great. Oh, I gotta put my shoulder rest back on. Okay, and I just need a second to tune because my E string. That'll do for now. Very cranky since I broke that E string yesterday. It's been very cranky. I hope I don't have to go get a new set. That would be a drag. I just got these. Okay, so we'll start with G. Scale and then arpeggio, and then we'll do A.
My mic is off.
Yeah,
Dan, is my mic off?
I can mute it.
Thank you.
You're muted. Okay, let's do it. Ready? Scale. Mine was nice. Here's Lena. Good. Cool. Alrighty. Okay, Lena, how you doing? We're just working on the G major scale. Since you just showed up, we'll do it again. G major scale and then arpeggio, and then we're going to do the A major scale and then arpeggio. And then we're going to work on the Irish Washerwoman followed by Cock of the North. Okay, G major scale first. One more time for Lena. Ready? Go. Alrighty. Now let's try the A. So here's your A. Good reliable A there. Okay, let's go up this scale now. A major, ready, go. let's try the arpeggio. Ready, and. Okay, now I'm going to have a little drink of water. We're going to try that again. Mine was good, but it wasn't perfect. So I'd like to give one more go of it. All right, one more time. Scale first. Ready, go. That was good for me. One note out. C sharp, of course, on the G string. It was a little sharp. It's the danger when you're stretching. How did you guys do? Pretty good? That's great. Okay, cool. So let's see. Irish washerwoman, cock of the north. Let's do them twice each to start off with. And I see here it's got a metronome marking of 85 to 90, but I think we should start slower than that. Think we can handle that? That's what is that? Let's see. I'm thinking that's like 70 or 60. Yeah, 65. So let's start there. Remind ourselves of the tunes. Okay, 2 times each. 1, 2, 3, go. Do it again. Okay, now that was a good stint of playing. It's a good like 4 minutes. How does everybody feeling? Did it go okay? Good. How's the left hand? How's the right hand? Anything hurting? Anything stiff? It's all good. You're more used to it, Elaine. You've done lots of long sets.
Well, yeah, I'm a little bit stiff from last night playing.
Last night was a workout.
Yeah, so
All the tunes. Yeah, we had orchestra rehearsal last night. First one after the summer, and we just played. I just took requests, and we did because we learned a lot of music over the last couple of years. So we just played tunes like solidly the whole night. It was really fun, really, really fun. But yes, the bow was on the strings the entire time. A little bit tiring. How did you do, Lena?
I'm just getting set up here. I'm ready to go now, but I'm in the new place. I have nowhere to sit. I have no surfaces, so
Yeah.
I'm ready now.
Cool. I've been there. I understand.
And it's
Where's
so hot.
where's your new place?
Gatineau.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's big, man. That's a move and a half.
Yeah, a whole new province.
Wow.
Finally made the move.
How are you with the French?
I was taking classes on and off for the last couple of years.
Oh, that's
I still need a little bit more of a foundation to feel confident. I'm not confident in the grocery store or in the daily life yet, but I think I'll take some immersion classes before I get a job. Do like classes as my full-time thing for a bit,
mm-hmm.
and hopefully that'll give me a footing.
Yeah, wow. That's pretty cool, man.
I like that I'm being pushed to learn the language. Like I want to have French, so it's scary, but it's also I want that. So it's
Yeah,
good.
you're throwing your hat over the fence.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I think that's great. Okay. Well, anyway, so do you want to try these a little bit faster?
Let's do it.
I think we could because I was watching Lane and Heather there, and you guys were really having no problem. So now, did you find music, Elaine, or do you still need me to share my screen? Are you good? Okay, good. Okay, let's do it then. So that was. So let's try. That's quite quick. That's quite a bit quicker than what we just did. So let's see if we can challenge it. 1, 2, 3, go. one more. All right. How did we get along? Please relate your experiences to me. How about you, Elaine? Not too bad, eh?
I'm on mute. No, it was okay. Yeah, a couple of squeaky notes there, but yeah.
Oh, squeaky. Yeah, well, you know the 5 leading causes of squeaking, right?
Yes, I do.
Which one do you think it was for you?
I think getting too close to the fingerboard.
To the fingerboard. Ah, yes, that is for some people a big danger of squeaking for sure. Okay, but that's not too bad. A little squeaking never hurt anybody really. How about you, Heather? How did you do?
It was humorous. Surprisingly, okay, so with Irish washerwoman, just so you know,
Yeah.
it's for some reason always been really tough. And it's like, okay, do what Dan says to do, which is like pay attention to what the issue is.
Yeah.
And for some reason with Irish washerwoman, going from the A string to the D string, my finger is always touching the A string when I'm supposed to be playing a D.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Anyway, it's a beginner thing, I guess. But anyway, and then Cock of the North, I'm doing the fingering, but the bow can't keep up. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It does. So is that are you stiffening up by that by that
Yeah,
time? It's getting
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
get all panicky. Oh no, they're going too fast, and I can't keep up. Then right, that doesn't help to concentrate. So
Yeah, panicking is the worst possible thing in the world for sure. And but you know, it happens to all of us. So the my best advice is to if you start to tense up your right arm when you're playing a long set, the best way to battle that is to try to first of all breathe. See if you're actually holding your breath, because a
oh,
lot
I am.
Okay. So, and in order to start breathing when you're playing the fiddle, the thing that somebody told me once is that you try to wait for the next long down bow and exhale, and it starts the breathing process and gets you a few eighth notes, and then you might have to do it again. See what I mean? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
with your problem with the Irish washerwoman. So, exactly where are you touching the A when you don't want to be touching the A? Where is that again? Can you play it for me, the spot, so I can?
It's definitely the second part,
Okay,
and it's let's see. I'll just start playing the second part.
sure.
It's right in there. And then
Yeah. Now,
I don't know what it is, Dan.
I know what it is. Which finger is touching the A string? Is it the third finger or the second finger?
Second.
Okay. When I put my second finger down on that note, on the D2, I actually put it on the D string and the G string. Like
I'll
this.
try it.
Get it right out of the
Yep.
way. Watch me when I do it. Because that's a common problem. But look where I put my finger. See that? Right out of the way. And it's okay if it's touching the G a little bit. Doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, because it sets you up for later on.
That's right. That's right. And I'm
Okay.
always doing that. Okay, so that should help you. Try a little bit and see if that works.
Try. That'll be my homework for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? Right away, that's going to take practice, Dan.
Really good.
Wow. Well, thank you. But
Yeah.
I know what I'm still have to work on, and that'll be my focus. But that's been a real stumbling block. As fun as this tune is,
Yeah.
this tune I can't get any faster because I keep doing what I just said. So I'll practice what you just suggested.
It's
Thank
funny
you.
because that's the third leading cause of squeaking, which is the finger you're playing on one string is touching the next one a little bit, and as soon as your bow touches that string a bit, it's going to give you a squeak instead of
Yeah.
a note.
Yeah.
So, good thing to keep your eye on, and good thing to notice. Okay, how about you, Heather? Or I mean, Heather second, Lena.
I get that all the time. Good. I similar to Elaine. I had some squeaks. And also it's just been a while since I did that one. So there were a couple places that I stumbled, but I've
In
played
the
it better
second one,
before. Pardon?
in the second one especially, I noticed.
Um, in the second tune?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Up
that's
north.
more challenging. Okay.
I'm also writing it in. I had the fingerings written in, but it was like I could barely see it, so I'm writing it in darker right now. That'll probably help a little bit.
Didn't they turn the power on at your new place yet?
We had electricians here today. It was all off actually. It's funny you say that.
Did you guys buy that house?
Yep.
Wow. That's
It's quite affordable out here. That's why we're here.
congratulations, man. Did I tell you about a guy called James Stevens?
Not yet, no.
Oh, he's in Chelsea.
Oh, James Stevens.
Yeah. He's a great fiddle player. He's also a guitar player and a like a producer kind of. But I think he has a group there near Gatineau because he's a part of the Gatineau Fiddle Festival.
I was
Uh,
gonna ask if you had any tips for that because we're gonna get tickets to go.
Definitely, whoever they bring is going to be awesome because James and the other people that put it on are all awesome. And I work with James every year at Algoma Trad. He's one of the teachers up there. So it'd be great for you to get in touch with him because I'm sure that he has a group, that you could.
James Stevenson, you said?
James Stevens. And I'll send you his Facebook info or whatever so you can get in touch with him.
Cool. Yeah, and if you have any other people you know up here who run sessions or anything, let me know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I know James, and I know that he's such a he's a teacher. He's like one of the main thing he does is teach people how to play the fiddle, and so I'm sure he has a group that you would be able to get together with. So I'll
Cool.
touch with him. And plus, I don't know if you guys noticed, but somebody stole my Facebook back in June.
Oh,
Yeah, it was kind of weird, and it was my fault. I was messaging with a guy that I grew up the road from, Joe Who. He's Joe McDonald, but there's a lot of McDonald, so he got called Joe Who. Anyway, and he's a fan of my record, and he's a fan of the music. And some once in a while, he messages me, and so he messaged me one day in June there, and he said, "What's your email?" Because I thought. I thought he was wanting to send me a track or something like that. And so I sent him my email, and then he was like, "Great, what's your phone number?" And I sent him my phone number. And then he was like, "And by the way, I lost my phone. Can you tell me what this verification code is that comes into your email?" And I did, like an idiot. Because, we've always helped out Joe Who. One time he lost his keys in the car. Dad sent me up there. I had to break in, so I did. Anyway, it wasn't him, obviously.
oh
It was this
no.
guy. It's this guy here.
Oh no.
It's probably not even this actual person. I have no idea. But anyway, so he completely blocked me out right away. And when I tried to do the recovery with my license, for Facebook, he beat me to it because it kept coming back saying we can't read your license, we can't read your license. And then I got a message that said we could read your license, but it was his license or whatever. So anyway, so he completely stole my Facebook. So I gave up trying to get it back, and I started again. And I don't know, when you go on there, you can look me up. And I made a video, where I say, this guy stole my Facebook, so I'm going to give up and make a new Facebook, and just so that all of my friends believe it's me, I'm going to play Lord Gordon's on the fiddle, and then I do.
That's
I
awesome.
said, because I said, I guarantee this guy can't play Lord Gordon's on the fiddle. Guarantee.
Oh
Anyway,
my
yeah,
gosh.
I'll put you in touch because that's a good spot to be. Okay, so let's move on now. So everybody knows what they have to work on with that set. Let's see what others. We're doing sets tonight there, Lena. Just sets.
Okay.
But now here's a blast from the past. Deal Among the Tailors and Mr. McCloud's Reel. That was a great set. Now, some of these sets have some doubles going on. Now, let me just remind you of how the Devil's Dream. Devil's Dream is what everybody calls it. Remember that? And then that one there. So we'll give that a try.
I have a question about Miss McLeod's.
Yes.
Is it A major?
Yes, it is. Good question. And good
I
response.
went through all of the music and I tried to determine using Google and my brain
Yes.
all of the signatures for all of our tunes, and that one I couldn't figure out because the last note is not the thing.
That's right. And sometimes they don't always end. Now, the note that is the name of the key that you're in is called the tonic. That's what they call that. So when you're in A major, the tonic is A. And tunes don't always end on the tonic. Now, the Devil's Dream does. It ends on a big A. See that? But the other one, a lot of tunes are meant to go into another tune or back into itself. And so that's, and if you were to play this tune and use it as a finisher, you'd have to go back and play the A. See that? Yeah. So it's better actually to look at the first note. And in this case, absolutely, the first note is the tonic, not the pickup now. I mean beat 1. It's an A. And then beat 2 is also an A. And then when you go and you look at the second part, beat 1 is an A. See that? Both of them are. See, they're one and. So that's a really good indication. When you look at the Devil's Dream, the first note is A. When you look at the first note of the second part, it's C sharp. Now, that might as well be an A because C sharp is a very important note in the A major arpeggio. Do you see what I mean by that? Yeah, and we know our arpeggios because we've practiced them. So yeah, so good eye. That's good. And doing that exercise is really, really good for your musicianship. So good idea. Now let's see, how slow should we take these? The first one, Devil's Dream, the reason we're doing it is for string crossing. So let's take that real slow, especially since it's been a while. She's getting warm in here. Let's open the window. My AC is not reaching all the way up to my second floor. We've noticed the last few days. So the guy's going to come over and check out what's going on. Okay. I'll count us in and we'll go slow. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, go. let's hang on for a second. One thing I forgot about this tune is that it doesn't have the repeats written in, and it should. Everybody repeats this tune. So I'm just going to put a repeat sign at the end of each part here. Let me do that. Well, you guys get the idea. So repeat each part. Now, how are we getting along with the string crossings before we continue? They going okay? That's good. The worrisome thing about string crossing is that it can be kind of easy to do when you're going slow, but then when you're going fast, if you're going the opposite direction, say with your bow, it becomes hard. Okay? So you want to try, what you want to do is, here, I'll share my screen and I'll show you what you should do. Oh, this is Steam. This is my boys thing. Okay. So check this out. So down, up, 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 up. On these two notes here. See that? Up, up. Same pattern for the next two bars. Down, up, 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 up. Okay? These two notes here. So it's after the long notes. And then we got another two here. Okay. And then that's it. Now we have to add a pickup note to repeat. And I think it's a B. It's usually a B. That didn't work. So I'm going to put a little B here. It's not working. I don't know how to work anything. Anyway, you get the idea. Put a B in. Okay. So yeah, so that's really going to improve how you get through that. And like I said, you can kind of play it with the wrong bowing when you go slow and you won't notice how hard it is. So it's good to try to get that in early. The most important thing is to just try to start each string crossing section on a down. Whatever you got to do that, just try to do that. Okay? Now let's try it again with that in mind. Yes.
Dan, quick question. In the A section, in the first couple of measures there, are you playing those as up, the quarter note and then the 2/8 as up bows? Okay.
Oh, yeah, the 2/8 would be up, up. So. So all same thing. After every long note, after every quarter note in the first part, we're also doing an up, up.
Okay.
Okay. This is the perfect tune to practice this technique, except that we do have to put pickups in at the end, and it would be a B for both the A part and the B part. Okay.
And when you say B, what finger is that?
A1.
Okay, great.
It's right in the middle of the staff, Lena. It's basically like the middle of your fiddle.
Okay.
A1.
A1 to go.
So put a little A1 on the end of each line and repeats.
Perfect.
Okay?
Thank you.
No problem. So let's give her another go with that bowing. Now, if you can't manage that bowing, don't worry about it. This tune is forgiving. Because if you miss it the first time around, it'll correct itself the second time around. So you'll get about half of them. So don't worry about it. Just keep trying to think to yourself, start those string crossings down and up, up after the long notes. Okay, and we'll see how we get along here. All right. A 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. I think that was too fast. But valiant effort, people. Valiant effort. You kept shooting at the enemy. Let's go slower. Okay. 1, 2, 3, slow. Do it again. Breather there. Okay, the bowing is looking good. People are, kind of doing it sometimes. How you finding it? Do you find that it's fitting under your arm pretty good? Yeah, that's good. Could we go a little bit faster, do you think? Maybe a touch. Okay, let's do it. Oh, this is my fifth hour of teaching today. It's a little bit of fiddling. Could be worse though. My God. Okay, little bit faster. So kind of like. Let's try it like that. Okay. Oh, there's Astrid. Oh, good. Explain to her what we're doing here. Hi, Astrid.
Oh, hi. I lost
How you
all
doing?
track of time, believe it or not.
What's that?
I said, I I lost all track of time.
Oh, that's all right. We're practicing sets tonight.
Oh,
Sets that we've done in the past. And right now we're doing one called Dale, the Dale Among the Tailors and Mrs. McLeod's, and it's in that Google Drive.
okay. I'm not with the Google
No
people.
problem. Check it out. Here it is here. Can you see it?
I'm I'm gonna punch. Oh, I see. I think I have this one. Oh,
Good.
let me just check them. Where would I have that? But I can see it.
That's kind of the more common version. This one here that we're doing is a bit of a simplified version, but I think it works really well because it's expandable to what people usually play. Which is basically just a few more notes. Have you got that, Astrid? Okay. Now, what I was saying to these guys about the bowing is that we're doing up-ups. So after every quarter note, the next two eighth notes you're going to try to do in an up bow. So it's kind of like this. Down, up, 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 down, up. See how that works? Now, I was saying to them, and then in the second part, there's only a few of them, what I call up-ups. There's this one here after this quarter note, this one here after this quarter note, and this one here. So if you miss one, it's no big deal, because the next one will correct your bowing, and then you can try to get on track again. The main thing, the main goal, is to try to start each set of string crossings on a down bow. Because the point of this tune is practicing string crossings, and they really work better if you start down rather than up. Very awkward going up. Okay, so let's give it a go. We'll go slow, give Astrid a chance to make sense of all that I just said. And these guys wouldn't mind going slow anyway, I'm sure. And we'll do it, let's do it 3 times, guys. I'm going to increase the speed each time. All right. 1, 2, 3, go. faster. All right. Now, people's bows, we're doing pretty good there. I thought it was going pretty well for the fast. How did people feel? Too fast for you, Astrid? I forgot to mention also that we were repeating the parts. Because in the music it doesn't have repeats, but for some reason it should. It should be repeated. It always is repeated. Okay. Yes.
The question is that at the end of the part A and the end of the whole tune, are we on a down bow or are we an up bow?
Good question. And I also forgot to mention to you that we had already worked out that we need to add a pickup note in this tune.
Okay.
We are ending on a down bow. And the way that they have it written out is just a half note, right? So the way to turn our bow around. So we're using a B. An A1.
A B? Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay.
And all right. Okay, I'll write that down.
Yeah, write a B in there, and that will turn your bow around for you. Yes, Lena.
Just a question about that B. So we only play that pickup note when we're changing between parts or going back to the beginning. We don't play it between repeats of the same part, right?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Yeah, because that'll turn your bow around. Now it's the B is a little bit awkward to get back into the first part. Let me just see. Let me make sure. So yeah, so we better do what we better. That should be an E. Change that to an E. So an E for the A part and a B for the B part.
So an E if you're going into the A part.
Yep, and an E would work really good to go into the B part as well. So just play an E both times.
Just E instead of A1.
And then A1 for the B part.
Oh, okay. So open E when you say E, right?
Yep, that's right. Open E. Very good. That's the high E. There's only two. Now, you get a sense of these pickup notes after a while, right? You don't need to work them out, or you can even change them around. People change them around all the time. It's one of the main places that people change the music. So you might notice that if you finish the tune and you wanted to go into the tune again, the B is not going to be a very good note for you to do that with. You might want an E instead. Do you see what I mean? Yeah, and it just has to do with working your way up an arpeggio or down an arpeggio, really. That's all it is. Okay? Now, shall we try it one more time now that we have all that knowledge, this new skill? It's going to be brilliant. Where did my file go? There it is. And why did it do that? Swear to God, I'm useless with this stuff. Swear to God. Don't know what happened there. Well, I know it. I don't need to read it, but I just, I like to make sure that I don't improvise. That's the main reason I read stuff, is because if I don't read it, I'm gonna make stuff up because I get bored. And I play with Brian, who makes stuff up right away all the time. which is fun but very confusing when you're first trying to learn how to play the fiddle, for God's sakes. Anyway.
Aren't you going to be learning how to play jazz afterwards?
Well, it's kind of like jazz, you know. It's not because everybody improvises with this music. Like, it's very common, but not much. Like, you change one note, two notes, usually pick up notes or notes between phrases. But nobody would kind of like go and change a whole phrase, although me and Brian do. And that's, you know, that's something we don't mind doing because he's kind of, we just don't care. We just get bored and we do it anyway. But the more common improvisation with this music is very small, but it does happen and it's very common. It's really interesting. Anyway, let's give it a go. One more time, 3 times, and we'll start at this tempo. Okay? 1, 2, 3, go. One more. We're gonna keep going. Miss McLeod. kind of blasted into that on purpose to see what would happen if there's any looks of panic. Didn't really see any panic. How do we do with first of all, how do we do with the Devil's Dream? Hi. Hey,
By
buddy.
any chance, do you know where my Wonder Bomb is?
I didn't touch it. I swear. Really?
Really?
Absolutely, yeah.
Actually?
Actually. It's gotta be somewhere, unless Mom ate it. Or one of the cats.
If
Sorry?
one of the cats ate it, they'd be dead.
So it's not dead. Missing Wonder Bar. Procured at his aunt's place on the weekend. We had a little get together. We always do on Labor Day. We go over to my sister's place and the kids swim in the pool and stuff like that. So, and then my sister sends them home with far too much sugar. That ends up being a total pain in the ass for the following week. You know what I mean? Anyway, okay. First of all, Devil's Dream. How did we do with string crossing and bowing? Did it come together?
I always end up going up and down the wrong way. Well, not always, but I can notice when I'm doing that. So
Okay.
again, another thing to pay attention to, right?
Yeah, and once you get it under your arm, you won't have to pay attention to it anymore. It's kind of a pattern. You could just kind of like you know what I mean? So you'll get used to it. How about you, Lena? You were going to say something?
Yeah, so I find the string crossing parts easy. Like those are the easy parts, and the rest of the bits in between is where I struggle. Especially the last 2 bars of each part is where I fall off the wagon. But the string crossing just like feels like fine.
Okay. So strengthen the other parts and like just do the last 2 bars of each part just on their own before you even play the tune. Play the last 2 bars of each part, just whatever way you can do it that it's right, whether that's slow or whatever, and then go ahead and try playing the tune, and you'll have much better luck.
Okay.
I'm glad to hear that the string crossing is easy for you, though. Some people have a knack for it, and it's just that you want to be doing it like this rather than this. And that's why it's so elusive, because when you're going slow, this is easy. It doesn't matter. But as soon as you get to a certain tempo, you cannot do it. So it's good to get it in your head that at first what my dad's teacher used to say, when you change strings, you start with your hand and then your arm follows if it needs to. And I always thought that was a really good way to put it. See what I mean? Now, how about you, Elaine? How did you do with a bowing?
Yeah, wasn't that at the faster tempo? I was mixing it up, but yeah, I think it just needs a little bit more practice to.
Yeah, I think that's a really good one for this pattern because it's so repetitive with that same idea. So we'll keep on it until everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
How about you, Astrid? How did you do? Did you get stopped by Miss McLeod's?
I did. I got stopped by speed, so I just had to lay off. So I'll listen to your tape again, and I'll work on it this week.
That's fine. Now let's pick one more set to work on before we're done for the evening. Let's see. What should we do? Polkas. The Carey and John Ryan's polka. Let's see here. Yes. Yeah, and I didn't teach the kids up at National Music Camp the Carey polka, but I did teach them John Ryan's. And they were quite happy to learn it because they remember it from the Titanic. And I also taught them, and I was telling Elaine in the orchestra this last night, but I also taught them one of the tunes from SpongeBob SquarePants. And it's a tune that gets played behind the action, like as background music. It's actually quite often, you hear it quite often when you watch the show. And I played it, and the kids, the 2 14-year-old kids and the 16-year-old recognized it instantly. And they were like, oh, SpongeBob. And they were like, we could play that, And it turns out, my friend Ross learned it because he was watching it with his kids, and he learned it on the flute. And he looked it up. And it turns out that it's an old Irish tune. I think it's Irish or maybe Scottish from the 1500s. It's as old as the hills. Let me play it for you. Elaine's heard it already, but that's okay. And it's a lovely tune. I just love it. That's the tune. Isn't that nice little tune from 500 years ago? And I remember the guy Jack, the young fella Jack, was like, "Why did they use a tune that old?" And I said, "Well, they didn't have to pay for it." He was like, "Ah." Anyway, we're doing that, and we're doing another tune called Captain Pugwash, which it's trumpeter's hornpipe, and it was the theme music for a cartoon in England, popular in England in the 60s and 70s, called Captain Pugwash. So a few of the ladies in the orchestra recognized that title last night, and me and Ross are doing Captain Pugwash, followed by the SpongeBob, and we're calling the set Toons, Toons. But then I was teaching a guy today, Rick, and he was like, "Oh, you should get onto this other cartoon." I can't remember what the name of the cartoon is. And he played me the theme, and it's a really nice little hornpipey tune, so I think we might get that too. Okay, Carrie Polka, John Ryan's Polka. I'll remind you how they go. And then all right.
Major?
Which one? And what did you say? What major?
Yeah, then Dan McDonald.
Dan McDonald major. Yes, you are correct. D major. And here it's really easy because the last note of each tune is two big D's, eh? Yeah. So it's good. That's good. Very good there, Lena. You're getting the hang of it. So let's just go slow. It's been a while, so let's take her slow. Let's do each tune 3 times. Open this window a little more. It's so warm in Toronto these days. The boys drone. Okay, let's do it. That should do it, eh? That's not too fast. 3 times. 1, 2, 3, go. Again. Last time. Here we go. Oh yeah. Last time. Looked like it went good, ladies. Any problems? No? It was funny, you know, the kids were talking about the Titanic and they were like, is this the tune that they were playing when everybody was dying, you know, and the boat was sinking? And I was like, no, that was the classical quartet. And I think they were playing Viennese waltzes when the boat was going down. And anyway, and the big kid, Connor there, whose medical form was like a list of conditions this long, but he was a very brilliant kind of guy. He was like, wait a second, how did they keep standing on the deck playing when the boat's going like this? Like, how did they be able to do that? And I was like, I'm sure they figured out a way to manage, you know what I mean? And then the other two kids were like, so what's the deal? So like when you agree to play on a boat, like a cruise ship or a boat, like do you have to agree to go down with the ship? And I'm thinking to myself of all the jazz musicians I know that have played on cruise ships and how they would throw away their instrument and say, no, I'm just a regular person, I'm a mailman or something like that. It's very funny. Anyway, can we try these a little quicker? Because I felt like you guys were having no problems at all. So let's try this set a little bit quicker. And that'll be enough torture for tonight. So kind of like this. All right, that's good. Let's do it. Don't give up. Keep firing at the Germans. 1, 2, 3, go! One more. Here we go. One more. Woo! Polka, polka, polka. Okay, so we got our work cut out for us. So you guys are going to practice the jigs, the Irish washerwoman, and you guys know what you have to work on for that. We talked about it. And then the reels, it's all about bowing so that we can get it fast. Okay. And then with these ones here, I don't think there's any problems. Just a matter of taking a little less time with each one. That's how my dad used to talk about playing fast. Can we try it again, but have it take a little less time with it? Anyway, very good workout, guys. I hope your arms are all right. Yes, yes, Lena.
Sorry, one thing. Morrison's jig. What key is Morrison's jig?
You know, that's a really good question. So you look at the key signature. What's the key signature?
I suspect it's D major.
Got two sharps?
On this music, two sharps.
Yeah, it often does. It's not in D. What's the first note?
E.
So it's E minor with a C sharp.
Okay.
Now, if you look at the first part of Morrison's, first of all, you know that it's minor from the sound of it, right? You play the first couple of bars and you hear that it's in a minor key. And then you look at the first couple of bars there and you see that it's E, B, E, B, E, B, E, B, E, B, right? And that's kind of the classic E minor double stop right there, or arpeggio, E's and B's and then D's. So that's how I would put that together. Now you see the very last part, the very last bar, it kind of switches to G. And then it leaves you hanging, so you would have to play the E again. See how that works? The Morrison's jig leaves you hanging as well. It doesn't end on the tonic. It ends on the note before the tonic. See what I mean there? So yeah. So the D would also be a bit of a giveaway to me that it's in E minor, because a lot of tunes leave you hanging. See what I mean? But for me, the most giveaway that it's in E minor is the fact that there are many, many tunes that are in E minor with a C sharp. It's a very common mode in Irish music, okay? Second of all, you just look at that first bar and you see those B's and those E's, and you just know right away that you're in the key of E minor. Do you see what I mean?
Not quite, but I sort of, yeah.
If you think of an E arpeggio,
Conceptually weird.
I don't think we've done an E arpeggio. No, but the E arpeggio is E, G, B. I'll show you. And basically every E minor tune in the world starts from B to E or E to B. Now, you see here what I'm talking about there? Yeah. So that's an interesting one, because that's not obvious. And you would have to know a little bit, just like I just showed you, to be able to tell what key you're in with that one. For most people with Morrison's, it takes them playing it a couple times to figure out what key they're in. And then there's the big key change at the end. So it's that you make a very good point there. That's a really good example of a tune where the key signature tells you very little and you have to dig a little bit. All right. Good question, Lee. Keep them coming. We'll see you guys next Thursday. Bye.